There is this story about an old man, a grandfather actually, who had 8 grandchildren. And one of these grandchildren was a young girl, a 15-year-old with fair hair and with the most beautiful smile. And he said, "This is my favorite grandchild, but there was a problem. She was born blind." But he said, "Whenever I walk with her through the woods in the city, I hear more, I smell more, I see more, I feel more." He said, "She is the gem and pearl of my family." He could have easily have said, "Well, she's blind, a burden to my family." He could not change the reality, but he could change the way he looked at that reality. Habit 1 is to be proactive. This is all about taking responsibility for your life. You can't keep blaming everything on your parents or grandparents. Proactive people recognize that they are responsible. They don't blame genetics, circumstances, or conditionings for their behavior. They know they choose their behavior. Reactive people, on the other hand, are so often affected by their physical environment that they find external sources to blame for their behavior. If a person is driving or commuting to work and there's no traffic, naturally they feel good. But if there's a lot of traffic, it affects their attitude and performances throughout the day, then they blame the government and the traffic police. All of these external forces act as stimuli that we respond to. Between the stimulus and the response is your greatest power. You have the freedom to choose your response. One of the most important things you choose is what you say. Your language is a good indicator of how you see yourself. A proactive person uses proactive language such as "I can," "I will," "I prefer." A reactive person uses reactive language such as "I can't," "I have to," "if only." Reactive people believe that they're not responsible, that they have little or no choice. Instead of reacting to or worrying about conditions over which they have little or no control, proactive people focuses their time and energy on things that they can control. If you are always stuck in traffic going to work or school, a proactive person would not blame other motorists on the road or the government for the traffic, but would simply wake up earlier to avoid the morning traffic. A reactive person would keep complaining and making excuses as to why he or she was late. The problems, the challenges, and the opportunities we face fall into 2 areas: our circle of concern and our circle of influence. Proactive people focuses their time and energy on their circle of influence. They work on the things that they can do something about, such as their health, their weight, and their grades. Reactive people, on the other hand, focuses their time and energy in the circle of concern, things over which they have little or no control, such as terrorism, traffic, and the weather. Pessimistic people will always focus on all the troubles at the end, and paralyzed by fear, they will never take action. But an optimistic person focuses on all the possibilities and dreams, and driven by hope, they take action. Habit 2, beginning with the end in mind. This is all about imagining and visualizing whatever it is that you want, then start by working your way backwards to get whatever it is that you want. Let's say there was a guy named Joe, right, who wanted to start a business, quit his boring 9 to 5, and become financially free. So Joe has always been passionate about food, and for so long he had always wanted to start a restaurant. So Joe can use habit 2 to envision every detail as vividly as possible of what he wants his restaurant to become. So Joe has done his research. He has clearly mapped out every detail: where the chairs and tables should be, the color of the walls, the size of the windows, the chef to hire, and the locality. So basically, Joe has the clear vision of what he wants to accomplish. Beginning with the end in mind is based on the principle that all things are created twice. There's a mental or first creation and a physical or second creation to all things. So you begin with the end in mind, then layer by layer, step by step, you charter a clear course beginning with the end. Before you invest your first cent, your first dollar, you have already envisioned in your mind what you cannot at present see with your eyes. The carpenter's rule is measure twice, cut once. You have to make sure that the blueprint, the first creation, is really what you want, that you have thought through everything, then you apply it into action. Beginning with the end in mind means begin each day, task, or project with a clear vision of your desired direction and destination, and then continue by flexing your proactive muscle to make things happen. Always remember, from small beginnings come great things. Habit 3, putting first things first. Things which matter most must never be at the mercy of things which matter least. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Setting your priorities straight and not procrastinating on things which matter most is fundamental for productivity and a happy life. Happy Today is about life management. Your purpose, your values, your roles, and your priorities. Those things you personally find of most worth. If you have always wanted to start a project, start exercising, or get better grades in school, then you must identify these goals as fundamental, and using Habit 2 to first envision vividly what you want to accomplish and begin to employ it into action. Bruce Lee once said, "Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do."